Dear learners, I hope all of you are fine. I'm also fine with the grace of Almighty Lord. Dear learners, I hope always you are staying in safe and sound and you are completing your lesson properly. I hope always you are completing your lessons and following our class because we are giving our class in YouTube, Facebook, and in our websites. So you try to complete your lesson and stay in safe and sound. Okay, let's start our sessions. So look at the book attentively and follow the class. Dear learners, you can see here that some be verbs are given here. The be means, here you can see that be means am is are, was were is the past form, and being is the participle, and being is the past participle form. Dear learners, at the time of changing into active to passive voice, you will have to take one from this box. So you should always bear this in your mind. Because if you want to change active to passive, or if you want to change passive to active, you will have to know this. Dear learners, you can see a sentence in active sentence. You can see that what do you want is interrogative sentence. So I will show you some tips, or I will give you some tips how you can change it into passive voice. There is no be verbs and there is no past participle form of verbs. If there is any be verbs, then past participle form of verb, then there is passive sentence. So there is the active sentence. You can see that this is the present form of verbs and do is the auxiliary verbs. And so you can see this is in present indefinite tense. So as it is present indefinite tense, you will have to take from this am, is, are. You will have to take one of these. So let's start this lesson. And dear learners, you can see here that what do you want is in active sentence. If you want to change it into passive, you will have to write at first the subject. So what is the object here? What do you want? Want is doer. You is doer here. You is here, doer. So you will have to write here by you, and as it is object, so object will be subject at first. So I have written here what at first, and then yes, it is in present indefinite tense. You will have to take be verbs means am, is, are. So with word, you will have to use here is, and as it is, want is the past present form of verbs. So you will have to write the wanted in the past participle form of verbs, and then you will have to write preposition by, then object. The subject objective forms will be subject. Subject is here you, so you will have to write the objective form of you is you. So what do you want is what is wanted by you. Now I hope it is clear to you. Now I'm giving more example to make it more clear. There is a sentence, who is calling you? Dear learners, you can see that it is the continuous tense, present continuous tense. Who is calling you? Who is here doer, and you is here the object. So is calling is verb here. So at first you will have to write here. Dear learners, in this sentence you can see that who is calling you is a present continuous tense, and for this sentence you will have to use here. At first you will have to write the subject. Object will be subject you. So as you is the subject, so you will have to take here. You can't take here is because you is the plural form of object or subject. So you will have to write are, and it will be said before the subject because it is an interrogative sentence. As it is, there is ing, so you will have to take here being. So I have used here being. Then you will have to take here the past participle form of verb. Calling is, so call is the present form, so you will have to write the past participle form of verb called, and then you will have to write here preposition by, then object of the subject. So subject is who, so objective form will be whom. So you can write here by whom. By whom is not said at the ending of the sentence, so you will have to write this at the beginning of the sentence. So by whom or interrogative or pronoun always you will have to say it before the subject or at first or at the beginning of the sentence, you will have to write the interrogative pronoun. So I have used here by whom at the beginning of the sentence. So you can see it clearly. Now I'm going to give you more example to make it clear to you. Dear learners, you can see a sentence on the board that who has completed the paintings. Who has completed the painting is the present perfect tense. So you can see here that who is the doer here, subject, and painting is object. So now at the time to change it into passive, you will have to write the subject will be set the beginning of the sentence, and before there is interrogative pronoun, so you will have to write the interrogative pronoun at the beginning of the sentence. And you will have to write then after there is have or has, and after setting this you will have to take a verb from this. As there is have or has, so you will have to take here been. Dear learners, let's look at the book and you will try to understand it. Dear learners, in the book you can see the sentence that by whom has the painting been completed. Dear learners, you can see here that I've used here, at first you will have to write the subject will be object and object will be subject. So this is the object. So I have used here as a subject, and you will have to write have or has before the subject. So I have used here because this is interrogative sentence. And then after have or has, you will have to take here been, because it is past participle form of verbs. It will be said after have or has. So I have used here have been. Then you will have to write the past participle form of completed. So I have used here completed. Then you will have to write the preposition by, then object. Yeah, I have used here preposition by, then objective form of the subject. As it is interrogative pronoun, so you will have to say this at the beginning of the sentence. So who has completed the painting? By whom has the painting been completed? I hope it is clear to you. Now I am going to give you more example on different tenses to make it more clear to you. Dear learners, you can see that there is a sentence, when was he making tea? When was he making tea is an interrogative sentence and past continuous tense. So at the time of changing into in passive, you will have to change the subject will be object and object will be subject. And the auxiliary verb will be set before the subject as it is interrogative sentence. And if there is any interrogative pronoun, so you will have to set this at the beginning of the sentence. It is mandatory for interrogative sentence. Dear learners, so look at the board. I'm going to make you understand the sentence. Dear learners, so you will have to say on the board that there is when is the interrogative pronoun. So I have used here when, and then as there is was. So at first you will have to write this object will be subject here. Then you will have to use your was. So was, T is the third person single number, so you will not change the auxiliary verb. Then there is ing, so continuous tense, so you will have to take your being. And then you will have to write the past participle form of make will be made. Then preposition by. Then you will have to write the subject will be object now, and you will have to write the objective form. So the sentence is when was he making tea? When was he making tea will be when was the tea being made by him? Dear learners, I'm going to repeat it. When was tea being made by him? So I hope it is clear to you. Now I'm going to give you more example to make it clear. Dear learners, you can see on the board that whom will you help? Whom will you help? So here, this is also a sentence. At first you will have to understand or I need to identify what is subject and what is object here. If you are able to identify the subject and object, it would be easy for you to make it passive mood. Dear learners, so you can see that here you is doer here. So you is doer here. So you is the subject, and most of the time student make mistake here to identify the subject. So you is here doer or subject, and whom is here object, because it is also in objective form, so you can easily identify it. So at first you will have to write here a silver wheel. So you will have to write and make a gap here, wheel. Then you will write here, you is the subject here. So you will write you at the ending of the sentence. So wheel, with this wheel you will have to take here be, will be. Then you will have to write here help. Then you will have to write here dear learners, if you want to change this sentence into an help, means who will be helped by you. Dear learners, you can easily see that whom is the objective form, so I will have to use here who at the time to change into passive. Then you will have to use here will. Then as will is a model auxiliary verb, after model auxiliary verb at the time to change into passive, you will have to take your be. So I have used here be, then the past participle form of verb helped. And then doer, you is doer, so you will have to write here by you. Dear learners, I hope it is clear to you. And if you be very attentive, so you can understand it clearly. Now I am going to make you understand another sentence. Dear learners, you can see a sentence. Whom are you going to punish? Whom are you going to punish? Here is a sentence. Whom is your object, and you is doer here, and you is also subject here. And there is am going to, is going to, are going to. If you have am going to, is going to, are going to, or was going to, or are going to, like this. So you will have to use here be after to at the time of changing into passive. So dear learners, let's learn this easily. So look at the board attentively. Dear learners on the board, look at the board here, and you can see that who is here, whom is your object. So object will be subject who, and am going to, is going to, are going to. So I have used here is going to. Then after to, you will have to use here be. So I have taken a be verb from the box be. Then past participle form of punish, punished. So then by preposition, and then you will have to use the objective form of the subject. You can see object here, subject is you, then you will have to write the objective form of you. Dear learner, the sentence is whom are you going to be punished? So who is going to be punished by you? Who is going to be punished by you? Dear learners, I hope it is clear to you. So I have expected it. Always you are completing your lesson. So I hope you will try to complete your lesson staying home to get a good mark in the exam. So I have already taught you how to change the active to passive for integrative sentence. So you try to complete this properly. And if you face any problem, please send us message. I will try to give you solutions. Okay, bye-bye.